Hey guys, we are going to continue building our project, and in this video we are going to create the products and categories tables or documents, and also we are going to export the content of these tables and import them into our new created tables. This process will be automatic. You can see here the products I added before, and here also the categories of these products. These are the fields of the category. And for the product document, here are the fields: the prices, the stock, the images, categories, and also here you can add the specification of the product. So let's get started. Let's create here new folder for Sanity. And let's open here new terminal. Let's navigate back to this folder because we are currently now in Next folder. To install Sanity, you can go to this link and all the instructions here. I did already this one. I am going to continue from this step. So I'm gonna initialize the Sanity. Let's paste it here. Are we going to use version 3? Yes. We are going to create a new project. And let's give it name. Let's call it E-Shop E-commerce. We are not gonna use the default because we need it to be private. Let's give the dataset a name. Let's call it E-Shop. And we need it to be private. And we are going to create the Sanity project in this folder. Here we are going to use a fresh project without a predefined schema. And we are going to use Typescript. And also here we are going to use npm. Now let's create our tables or our documents inside the schemas. Let's create the first one for category. And let's add the configuration of this document. Now let's create the configuration object. And let's bring the type of this object from Sanity. This will make our work easier and we can avoid making mistakes. Let's add the title to be categories. If we make mistake here, for example, misspelling, we can see that the Typescript giving us a warning. But if this type is not here, we would not discover this mistake earlier until we execute our code. So let's add this type again. And let's fix this misspelling. And continue adding the other configurations. We need here to add name for this document. And the type is a document. And let's add the fields. First field is the title of the category. Name is title. And the type is a string. And let's make it required. We will receive the rule as parameter from Sanity. It is from type rule. And we will make it required. Now let's copy this field 4 times for the other fields. One for slug, name slug, and the type is slug. It is also required. And let's add here the options. We need to extract the slug from the title of the category. This is the title from here. And let's give it max length 100 characters. And now let's add the image of the category. Name is image. and the type is image as well. And we need to add description. It is from type text, and we don't need it to be required. The last one, it will be the parent of the category. This is only if you have many categories and you need the category to be a child of another category. It is many-to-many relationship, so any category can be a parent of other categories, and also any category can be a child of other categories. So it will reference to the same document. Type is category. This references to the same document or table. Now let's add the preview for this document. We need here to show the title and also the thumbnail. We will select the title of the category, this title. And the thumbnail, it will be the image of this category as well. Now let's export it as default. And let's check if there's still any warnings or notifications. Now let's save and copy the whole thing and use it in a product document. Let's paste the whole code here, and let's change the name here to be product. Also here, the title, it will be products, name of product, and we need the title, the slug as well. And let's copy this and add other fields here. One for SKU. Mostly SKU is important, but to make things easier, I'm not gonna make it required here. And let's paste another one for price. Name price, and the type is number. And let's copy it for slashing price or the offer. Let's update the title here and the name, and let's remove this validation. And another one for the product stock. Now let's change the image here. We need it to be an array of images. Let's change the name, and the type is array, and it is array of images. And let's add here the optionality of cropping or editing this image. Let's move this relationship up. We need to reference to the category. Let's update the title and the name. We need it to reference only to one category, so it is only a reference. And it will point it to one of the category documents. And let's make it required. Let's copy this field for featured list. The title is featured, name featured, and it is from type boolean. Let's copy it twice. One for new products list, and another one for best selling products or trending products. Now let's update the description or the specification of the product. We need it to be an array, and this array will include a block. This is the block that can add styling to the text. And we need to give the user the possibility of adding image to this content or the specification. this image will be shown here. From here the user can add the image to the specification and it will be shown in the product details page. Let's make it also required. For the document to preview, let's add subtitle. It will be the title of the parent category. This category here and also here, reference to the document we've just created, this one. And the thumbnail, because the product images is an array, we need to reference to the first one. This alone should work, but it didn't work for me, so I had to add also .asset. Now let's save this document and import both of them inside index from Sanity. Now let's add our documents inside this array and Sanity will recognize them automatically. Let's save and go to our terminal and let's start Sanity by this command npm run dev. It was before Sanity start, but now in the new version we are going to use directly npm run dev. Now our link is ready, let's run it. Now we need to log in using the same account we used in Sanity. Just choose your account and it will open the management dashboard. And here are our documents. This is the categories. You can create a new one from here. Let's add test one. Let's call it electronics, for example. And you can see here that the required fields shown. This button will not be activated until you fill these required fields. So let's generate the slug. And let's upload an image. Let's choose this photo. And let's publish. Now this category added. And from here, if you wanted to add parents categories, you can reference to any other category. Let's go now to products table and add a new one. Let's add here title, generate slug. SKU is mostly the model of the product. They use it mostly to track the colors and also the storage of the product. Let's add here price. And let's add here an image. Here, because we add the option hotspot in our configuration, you can see that we can edit the image. We can see the crop option here. You can from here crop the image. And because it is an array, you can add as many images as you want. Now let's link it to a category. We have here only one category. And from here you can add it to any of these lists. And this is the details or the specification. You can add bullets. And also you can add to this content an image. And it will be shown in the product page. Now let's publish this product. This is the preview of the document. You can see here the title of the product and the title of the category and also the thumbnail of the image. I don't need this test product, I'm gonna delete it. I will export all of these products I added before and I will import them into our new tables and also the categories. Now let's delete it from here. And also let's delete this category. Let's go here to the terminal and push our configuration into the cloud using Sanity deploy. And let's add a host name to create subdomain. Let's call it E-Shop E-commerce. After creating this, we can access our information locally and also using Sanity Cloud. Now our subdomain or the link is ready. Let's access it. And we can see here our documents. I have these products and categories in another Sanity dataset. It is in this folder. So let's open it. This process is very sensitive. You have to make sure that all your fields in both datasets inside all the documents are the same or match the same names. Otherwise it will fail and give you an error. So let's navigate here to Sanity folder where the project of Sanity, and let's add this command to export the content of this dataset. It is Sanity dataset export and the name of the dataset or the database. I have this project here. And this is the name of the dataset here. This is the one. And we can check the contents here before we export them. These are the categories and those are the products. And we need only the published documents, not the drafts. And also these are the names of our documents we need, or the tables, category and product. It will export them to this compressed file. Now let's copy this path and let's import them here. Let's add this command, Sanity Datasets import, and let's paste the path of the file here. And we are going to import them to this dataset. Let's refresh here Sanity to show our new project. Here is our new project. And we called our database here E-Shop. So we need to add this name. We are going to push this content to this dataset. Let's enter now. And the importing process will start. Now it is finished and all the contents added to our new tables. Let's check them. And here are the imported categories and also the products with all configured fields. You can see here the category this is a product related to and all other fields. Now let's try to fetch these contents from Sanity into our next app. We are going to fetch them here in this products page. Let's specify here that this component is from next page type. And let's use here static fetch from Sanity. We have to call this function getStaticProps, and let's specify the type of this function from Next.js. It is a async function because we are going to fetch the products from Sanity. The beauty of TypeScript that it shows you the error before you execute your code. You can see here the notification. That means we have to return here the props. But if you delete here the type, you see that there is no notification and you don't know the configuration of this function. So the TypeScript gives you the notification and also the instruction what to do with these functions or objects. Let's add the type again. And let's retain the props object as it was shown in TypeScript instruction. Now we can see that the warning is gone. And here let's start fetching our products. We need here to install Sanity Client package to communicate with Sanity. So let's go to the terminal. Let's kill this terminal to make more space. And let's split this terminal to stay in next folder. Now let's install this package. Now let's create a new folder for Sanity inside utils. And inside it a new file client.ts. Let's import a client from this new package. And let's create an instance from this client. We need to add here the configuration of the object. But these configurations are sensitive, so let's create .env.local file inside next folder. We need to add here our Sanity project ID. We need to make it public, that means it can be accessed from the browser and also from the server. And here's the ID. Let's copy it. And let's add also the name of the dataset. It is also public. This is the name of our dataset. And now let's add the token. Let's create it first from API. Let's add it from here. Let's call it next app. And let's give it editor rule. Let's save and let's copy it. This token is very sensitive. We will allow only the server to access this token, because using this token you can edit all the contents inside your tables. Let's save this file and restart our environment. Now let's go back to finish the configuration of the client. Let's add a project ID. We will bring it from the environment variable. We called it next public Sanity project ID. Let's copy it for the dataset. Let's update the name. And here the object property. And let's add the token. And here let's add any version. Let's give it, for example, this number. And here let's add the cache of Sanity. So use CDN is true. This cache is helping with the speediness. But for sensitive information like registration and login and orders, we are not gonna use the cache because we need the last fresh updated information without caching. So we need here two objects, one Sanity client with caching and another one without caching. One is true and the other one is false, and we are going to use both of them in our project. Now let's save and go back to the products page. And now here let's use Sanity Client with caching and use the function fetch. And let's add the query here. We will fetch the content of the table product. And we need only the published, not drafts. And let's pass these products in the props object. We will receive them here as a prop for the products page. We can see that the Typescript is complaining about this parameter because the products type is unknown for Typescript. I'm not gonna add all the fields types manually. There's a website we can use it, but first we need to log these products to copy the object fields. So let's use effect. It will depend on the products. If there's a change, we will log them. Now let's save and go to the products page. Here in our local environment, here where we left off in the last video, and this is the page of the products. Let's open the console. We can see the products here. And let's copy one of these objects and go to this website and replace everything here with this new object. Let's call it a product. And here we can see all the types configured for us. Let's copy the code. And let's go back to the next folder and create a new folder. Let's call it types. Inside it's sanity. And let's paste all of these types. Now let's go back to the products page and add here type props. Products are array of type product. This is the type of product. And all other types imported inside this object. For example, category references to this type and all other types or interfaces included inside this product interface. So we just need a product, but it is an array. Now let's add it as a prop type for this page. And now we can access all the fields of the product easily thanks to Typescript. Because it is an array, we need to add here 0, for example, and dot, and we can see all the fields here without checking the console or anything else. Let's pick the title, for example. And let's save and check the title of this product in the console. And here we can see the title of the product here. In our next video, we are going to work on this grid of the products. We are going to add all the styles and designs of this products list. So see you guys in our next video.